So welcome back to another video. Kind of starting off in the evening on this one. I've been anchored out here in the Exuma National Park area, following my buddies Scott and Jordyn on their boat. We went out today to the aquarium is what they call it, a cool place to snorkel. And I have only these two clips that you can see now. Unfortunately, while I was out there, GoPros claim they're waterproof, but my other GoPro is now in this bag of rice. It died while I was underwater. I come back to the top and it's full of salt water. So I rinsed it out with fresh water, got it in there, we'll see what happens. Thanks to Mike Giberson who sent over this spare GoPro before I left to the Keys. That's what I'm using now until this one hopefully works again. But first thing in this video, we're going to head to the beach. I've got a bunch of things packed up here. We're taking the grill, charcoal, and some of the fish and other vegetables I've got here. And I will be meeting Scott and Jordyn there. Gonna have a bit of a cookout before we set sail tomorrow. Well, good morning. Sun's up now. I don't know if you can tell, it's pretty windy though. Our heading is gonna be this direction, so I think we should be all right. Thankfully, the big cat behind me left. So I think we should be pretty good. We're gonna try to go out the different way this time. Looks like it's a little deeper over there. But I'm gonna get you all set down here and try to get this anchor pulled up. And we will motor our way out of the channel. I think the tide's going out too, or at least it's slack tide. So it shouldn't be too difficult, fingers crossed. And then I think we're headed down to like Cut Key, something like that. I'll tell you later when I know for sure. The anchor's up. We are just trying to squeeze our way through the exit here. It's a little difficult even this early in the morning though. It's 8:30 and it's a pretty gloomy day if you can't tell. Down here, a lot of navigation you're supposed to do by visual, not the charts. But even with my polarized glasses on, I can't see much. You can see a bit of a shift in color and the waves change their action right there, and that's where the chart's showing like 3 foot. So I think we'll be fine. I'm not too worried, but obviously it's best to have gone at noon, but then it's going to be about 7 hours to where I'm trying to go. Try to get in there at night. I think that was even worse idea. So we should be fine. Waves are decent size though getting out of here. We might have to roll out the jib just to get a little extra power. Gonna be a good day though. Already popped a Dramamine in anticipation. Unfurled about a third of the jib, and just that little bit of head sail has given me an extra 2 knots, and it makes the boat a whole lot more stable getting out to these waves here. So great idea. It's blowing strong though. I don't know, I don't have any like monitor or anything to tell you how fast, but it's got to be 20 I'd say. So we'll probably have to reef the old jib as well, or the main, to get out of here. Or on our way. Sorry, I'm distracted. I'm seeing all these rocks all of a sudden and trying to visualize where I'm supposed to go in relation to them. I think we're going right between them, but it feels very opposite of what you're supposed to do. Sailing towards these rocks in this wind with the waves breaking on them. That's what the charts say to do though. Wish me luck. This is a little ridiculous. I feel like I'm in the Halyard Inlet. It is, unfortunately I'm on a schedule though, so I gotta get to Georgetown. You can take the, let's see, the southern side of the Exumas and go that way, but with the way the tides are gonna be and how strong my engine is not, I was a little worried about getting back in through the cuts this afternoon. But after navigating this, that probably would have been a better option. I still don't know if I could make the latter part of the day, but well, Rambler's doing well. We're bobbing. It's probably, I don't know how it shows on the video, but we are bobbing a ton. The nose keeps diving through the waves. We're still making 3 knots progress. This one here, oh my gosh. I think we got some air time there. Oh man. This is ridiculous. I'm having a blast. We are only doing 2 knots. I really need to get this main pulled up as well, but it's just so choppy. I don't want to go up there and slip. And now, of course, it's raining too, so the deck's all slipped. But I hope you enjoyed your time visiting, Mom, because I'm doing this for you. I really should have. It's on me. I should have left. My original plan was to leave from Rock Point or Lighthouse Point up there in Eleuthera and head straight to the Exumas in one jump. And I had the perfect weather to do it too. But Scott and Jordyn were headed over here. I had fun doing that, but that would have been the best time to just go all the way there. It was about the same distance. Well, not really. I mean, because I went like 40 miles to get here, and it's still the same distance to Georgetown as I was over there. But anyways, this is a good experience too, I guess. It's gonna be a long day though. It's about 1 o'clock now. Doing still 5 knots. Autopilot's been handling it really well today since I got the sails reefed. I'm gonna take a nap, at least try to. It's kind of hot out here, but I got my phone set up. Hope you can see that. This is my anchor alarm app, and what I've done is set it up to custom shape. And I set it about 10 miles from where I'm at and about a mile from shore. My thought process is I'll still set a time alarm, wake up in about an hour and check for other boats. I haven't seen anyone else out here in person or AIS because I guess I'm the only one crazy enough to be here myself, but that should be plenty fine. If for some reason the autopilot stops working and I don't hear the autopilot alarm disengage, then that'll tell me if I start drifting too close to shore. And then the other ones will wake you up, check out for other boats. So I will see you after nap time. It's 3:20 now, doing 4 to 4.5 knots. I've decided to change my anchorage for the night to Cave Key, I believe. It's about probably 5 to 6 nautical miles further north than the prior anchorage I had won. But my time has not been as good as I thought, and the winds have shifted a bit as well, to where I think I would be getting there, cutting it close to dark. And as kind of discussed earlier, these cuts here in the Exumas you want to be going through in the daylight when you can see any hazards. But we are only 2.5 nautical miles from the entrance to the cut, but unfortunately we have this front moving through, so I'm unsure. It'll probably be bringing higher winds, and it looks like a decent bit of rain, which is unfortunate for the timing. So we might have to circle about and wait. We'll just I guess we'll see, and I'll let you know. It was a pretty rocky night. As long as you're sleeping, it's actually kind of nice, but trying to do anything else on the boat, you start to go a little insane. Just, you're hitting your head on everything. But anyways, made it in the morning. They say the tide is at slack high tide here in 10 minutes. So I'm gonna get the anchor pulled up. It's been outgoing though all morning, so I'm a little worried that the conditions will be choppy, kind of like they were yesterday as we tried to get out. That's why I got up early, but then I decided to wait till now just because that was a lot. But anyways, I'm gonna get the anchor pulled up. We'll motor over there and check it out, and if it's bad we can pull back and wait a little longer. But we got to get to Georgetown though before the sun sets. Well, we've made it out of the cut after about an hour of fighting the currents. At one point doing just half a knot. Slipknot handled it well though. We've made it through doing like 4.5 to 5 knots. I gotta get the sails set and change my tack as well. Head to Georgetown. If you can see, there's a small vessel there on the horizon. They were nice enough, they saw me leaving, hailed on the radio asking if I was in distress because of my choice to go out in such conditions. They thought nobody smart enough would voluntarily do that. But big thanks to them. I radio back, let them know I'm all right. Just poor planning on my part. We did it though. The past couple of days we've been doing lots of things we shouldn't do. You're not supposed to go here in the Exumas out of cut when the tide and the wind are against each other. And with how fast my boat is, you're not supposed to go whenever the tide and the wind are together too. So we really don't have a whole lot of other times to go in and out. We made it happen though. I think it's gonna be about 40 miles from here to Georgetown. So it'll be another long rocky day. I forgot to pop a Dramamine, so I probably ought to do that preemptively. But we'll get out here a couple miles offshore and then probably set our tack so we don't have to worry about it. Well, I'm sailing along here. It's going okay. Seas are pretty rough and heading is not great. But something fun I thought I'd tell you. I see on the AIS 7 nautical miles ahead of me are the Whitakers. They're one of the bigger YouTube channels. At least that's what the AIS says. It's Zatara. I can see them on the horizon here, so we might have to sail up beside them and see if we can say hi. I knew they were in Georgetown and I was kind of hoping they'd still be there to get to say hi there, but either way, it should be fun. We'll see if we can track them down. Well, we're about 3 miles out now from the sailing vessel Zatara, so I've come down below here. I thought we'll see if we can hail them on the radio. Just say hi, keep us entertained out here. So I'll set you down while we give it a shot here. I'm on channel 16. Whoa. I don't know if the camera's going to stay. Zatara, this is sailing vessel Rambler on channel 16, over. Zatara, this is sailing vessel Rambler on channel 16, over. Well, we gave it a shot. They might not have the radio turned on. I don't hear mine a lot of the time anyways, but I've got the handheld behind the helm, so we'll go back up there and keep a listen. Maybe we can try them again. All right, that's them on the horizon there. They're now within 1 mile, so I'm gonna run back below and try again. Not every day you cross paths with someone famous like that. We'll see if we can say hi. Zatara, this is sailing vessel Rambler on channel 16, over. Well, tried my best. No response on the VHF though. Hailed them a couple times. Still cool though to sail alongside. I was hoping I could introduce myself and be like, hey, get a shout out, but that's all right. Maybe next time. There they are over there though. I have only tuned in a little bit. From what I've seen, they've got a pretty nice boats. And I think they're doing like the Bahamas crew right now, so they're taking on a bunch of younger people for crew. I was tempted to sign up myself, I'll tell you that, but it's kind of fun having your own boat too, so. It's now 5 o'clock. GPS says we are 5 nautical miles from the entrance to Georgetown. It has been a very long day. Seas have still been somewhat rough. The dripless shaft seal strikes again. That's a tongue twister right there. And I noticed the floorboard, there's water above it whenever I'm heeled over, which sucks. And that shaft seal, all these big waves hit. I guess the pressure is coming in and causing the bellows to move, and it's squirting quite a bit of water. So I have to stick my hand back there, recompress it. But then we hit another big wave that happens again. So that is an ongoing issue if you've been watching the videos for a while. So I need to get that fixed. I gotta look into it closer. But either way, we're getting close. I think an hour we should be hitting the channel and then motoring in. We'll be cutting it close to a sunset, even though I thought I left plenty of early. That's how it goes out here, especially with my planning. We should be plenty fine though. Get this anchor dropped, and then I've got a lot of picking up to do. You can see these rough seas have thrown quite a bit of things around, as well as cleaning up all this water. So I will probably just touch base with you once we make it. Well, just got the anchor dropped here, about in the middle of the harbor here, between the town and, I already forgot the name of it, but over there is the Chat and Chill. There was some room in some spots there, but it gets pretty tight. So I came over here. It's a little more open, a little rocky, but we're pretty used to that by now. I'm gonna tidy up the boat a bit, get the sails packed up. I don't know if you can see this, but each of these lights is a boat. And off here on the horizon, there's, it just goes on forever. I think there's probably at least 200 boats, if not more. I've heard there's there can be up to 400 here in Georgetown in peak season. It's just unbelievable. Well, we made it through the night. After yesterday, I slept like a rock. I've got up early enough to listen to the morning net. That's what they call it here in Georgetown every morning, from what I've heard on channel 72 on my VHF radio. They will have a net, and that just means all the boaters tune in, and usually there's somebody who organizes it and will kind of go over the events in the area, anything to expect. And then I think people sell stuff, they ask for help, just introduce yourself. I'm curious to, you know, tune in and hear what's going on. I'll try to show you some highlights from that, and then we'll probably run to shore and scope out the town. It's Sunday, so I doubt a lot of things will be open. We'll kind of get the lay of the land though and see what there is, and go from there.
Announcing that the Georgetown Cruisers Net will begin at 8 a.m. here on channel 72. Please keep this channel clear for the duration of the net. Good morning, Georgetown, and welcome to the 8 a.m. Georgetown Cruisers Net. My name is Lexi, and I am on sailing vessel Sadie, the little catamaran with all the pink aboard. I'm sure you've seen us around. And I'm going to be your net controller for today. This is my first time, and I'm very excited. Today is Sunday, April 27th. And as usual on the Cruisers Net, I'd like to begin calling for priority traffic. Any urgent traffic, please come now. Nothing heard. As a reminder, during your time in Georgetown, if you do have an emergency on land, phone 919 or 911. Dialing 919 or 911 will connect you to someone locally who can help you. If 911 and 919 do not work for medical emergencies, please phone the Georgetown Hospital direct. Their phone number is 242-524-9117. We also use VHF channel 68 for hailing and emergencies here in Georgetown. In addition, if you have any medical expertise or equipment and are willing to share this information with the net controllers, please contact us after the net. Moving on to weather and tides for today. We had sunrise at 6:31 a.m. this morning, and sunset will be at 7:30 p.m. We are currently on a high tide, and our low tide today will be at 1:53 p.m. and the next high tide will be at 8:31 p.m. Today's weather should be sunny and 75. Does anyone have any additional or different weather information to share? If so, please come now. All right, no additional weather. Before we begin, I'd like to suggest that everyone turn their radios to high power to ensure you can be heard. And please note this is a controlled net with lots of vessels listening in, so if you wish to speak on the net this morning, please state your vessel name and wait to be recognized by me before passing through with your traffic. Keep your announcements short and sweet and come in at the appropriate category. If you miss your chance or come in late, please wait until final business at the end of the net and we'll catch anything that can't wait till tomorrow. How we do the net here, we go in order. We'll begin with departures to say goodbye to the vessels leaving us so they can be out and on their way. We'll follow this with local business announcements. We'll continue on with general announcements for the good of the community, including events for the next few days coming up. After community announcements, we'll move on to Boaters General, those looking for help, expertise, anything like that. We'll do Trader Giveaway, Kids Corner. That's for kids and families to share information, events, fun little jokes, anything like that. Then we will welcome newly arriving boats. That also includes taxi shares if anyone's heading to the airport. And then we'll wrap up with final business. If you miss another section or you're not sure where that goes, that will fall into final business. We'll close out the net with a thought for the day if anyone has one to share, and I hope someone does. So, alrighty, let's get started. Departures. Do we have any vessels leaving the harbor today? Departures, please come now.
Not behaving.
Not behaving?
Peggy and John were our two little kittens. We're heading north. Thanks, Georgetown, for a good time.
Not behaving is heading north. Thanks for coming in and have a safe trip. Do we have any other departures?
Stella?
I heard Stella.
Heading north this morning, probably rudder cut and then further up the Azumas. We've enjoyed our time here in Georgetown, enjoyed playing music with some of you. Hopefully see you again.
Oh, I'm sad I missed the music, but have a fun, safe trip north. Any other departures? Go ahead.
Good morning, this is sailing vessel Stravanza, Robert and Ingrid. We have been staying here for a week, heading now north and then on to the Bermudas and later Canada. It was a great time here, we enjoyed it a lot. Everybody have a good day and a good stay. Bye-bye.
Goodbye, Stravanza, heading north up towards Canada. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Pasha, that was beautiful and a wonderful way to end out the net today. I'd like to thank everyone for their contributions today, and with that now, the net is closed. Please remember to turn your radios back to low power if you don't need high power to connect with other vessels on 6-8. I, Lexi, on sailing vessel Sadie, will be standing by here on channel 72 for any newcomers that need general information. You can also check out our Facebook group, Georgetown Exuma Sailors and Cruisers. I would like to thank everyone for being so patient and kind with me doing my first net today. I am heading out of the harbor, but hope to see you all very, very soon, and we'll be back next year for sure. Sadie is out.
Alright, so I got most of my chores done yesterday. I do have to do one more set of laundry, so I've got that here, all my towels and blankets. Get some clean sheets for my guest arriving, and then I'll take the trash in as well. And about 12 o'clock, I'm going to see if I can find a ride to the airport, and then we will go pick up my mom and bring her back to the boat. I picked up anchor this morning and moved it a little closer to the dinghy dock. As you can see, I think I was maybe in a, well, there's a little boat right there on my bow. I was just ahead of him. It's so choppy out, and the dinghy dock's over there. I thought that would cut our time down in half, just make it a little easier for transporting luggage back and forth. But I've sat on it for an hour now. She seems to be holding well. So I'm gonna get the trash and clothes tossed in the dinghy, and we will go do some more errands. have made it from the airport. We're sitting here at the government dock. The tide's going out, so the dinghy ride's gonna be pretty rough, but explore the town, and then we're gonna try to get on Rambler and move her over to Stocking Island there on the leeward side, because it's getting pretty choppy if you can't tell. Say hi.
Hello.
I got my new windlass to work there on the bow of the boats. She's helping out. A whole lot easier getting off the anchor, and we're gonna be heading to the leeward side of Stocking here. Drop anchor for the night. Well, that is gonna wrap it up here for this week's video. Appreciate you guys tuning in. My crew member has finally arrived to the boat, and we are all set up. Next week's video, we'll be exploring here, more on Stocking Island in Georgetown, getting some supplies, and then we're gonna try to head up a little bit north in the Exumas, check out a few islands, depending on the weather. It's been a little windy. Fingers crossed that we'll be able to do that. But I appreciate you guys for watching, tuning in. It's been a great week here. Big shout out to all the Patreon subscribers for helping out. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I look forward to seeing you in next week's video.